Okay, hi guys, same host as last time. So we're going to start on the N1 in the Excel 9 to 1 GCSE spec foundation theory, and we're going to order the positive and negative indicators. Okay, let's start with question 1. Okay, so we are going to start with a number line. We're not going to do anything with this question yet. We're going to start with a number line because I want to show you which one is the most to the least, depending on their signs. Because I feel like that's really important for you to be able to actually get these type of questions right if you know, according to their um, signs. So we're going to do -1, -2, -3, and -4. And for example, -1 will be bigger than -4 because obviously the -4 is down the number line, so that's more negative. Okay, so we're going to do the positives now. So it will be +1, +2, and +3, and lastly +4. And those +4 will be bigger than -1 because -1 is backwards and it's further down the number line. Okay, let's go back to the actual question. So we're actually going to look at the question. It's place the following in ascending order. So we need to actually know what the question means. What is ascending? What is it? Well, the definition from the dictionary, they say it's from the least to the most. And there's also an opposing word for it, which is called descending, which, if you guess it, it means most to least. So that's what we're actually going to do for our question 1, right above the question. Okay, let's just write it down. Smallest to largest. Okay, let's start with -924, which that's literally down, down, down the number line, and that's the least number out of that list. Our next candidate is -648. We just take that off, and then our next one will be 200 -277, and then so on. Our next one will be -38, and then our next one will be 109, and lastly the most will be 846. Okay, we're gonna do the next question, but this time in descending order, which I guess that will give us a bit of practice instead of just doing it in ascending order all the time, which is largest to the least. Or we should just say smallest to make our lives a bit more easier. Okay, let's just get started straight away. Okay, so starting with 644, that's gone. 55 is next, because still positive side, that's gone. -3, -440, sorry, -488. Let me just sort that out, that doesn't look nice. Yep. Next is -551, and lastly, -987. Okay, next we're moving on to decimals. Okay, let me just give you an example what a decimal actually does look like. So like for example 0.11 or something like that. Um so decimals, we're just gonna basically do ascending and also descending examples of decimals. Um this is quite this is more, I guess, difficult than doing it with integers. So, okay, we're gonna just try and start so we can, you know, get you practicing. So 0 0.4, 0 0.6, 0 0.487, 0 0.2, and lastly 0 0.82. Oh, sorry, and 0. Oh, sorry, this we're making too much mistakes. 0.39. There's there's different ways to order the decimals in an ascending way, so you can actually turn them into a percentage. You can use tenths, hundreds, thousands, like the ones back to the basics. So we're going to use that type of format. I'll show you what you mean, and also just adding a zero. I'll show you what I mean by that, but what you call it is just to make it look the same. Okay, let's start with the question. So 0, 0 0.13, 0 0.954, 0 0.3, 0 0.94. Okay, to turn them into a percentage, we're going to times them by 100. So 0 times 100 will be 0%. And 0 0.13 times 100 will be 13%. So that's how the pattern will go. Okay, so I did the rest because it's the same pattern. You just times it by 100. From there, you actually see which one is the biggest. Okay, I put the decimal and the percentage side by side, and now we're going to separate it. Okay, so 0 is going to be first, obviously, because 0%. Next will be 0 0.13, because that's 13% comes after that. And then next will be 30%, which will be 0 0.3. And then next will be 0 0.4, 0 0.94. And the last one will be 0 0.954. Moving on to the second questions, we're going to move on to the tenths, units, hundreds, and thousands, etc. So we're going to start out drawing out the diagrams, the tens, the units, the hundreds, the thousands, etc. Filling it in, 0, 8, 0, 9, 3. Next one, 0, 3, 6, 3. And now the next one, 0, 0, 6, 7. Then 0, 0, 7, 9. Okay, we're going to also apply the second rule for this one. We're going to add the zeros so it can actually look polished. Okay, we're going to add the zeros. I'm going to use my green pen. Okay, now we're going to look at the units first. So all of them are zero, so the biggest is not in any of those. We're going to look at the tenths. Looks like 9 is the biggest, so therefore that's going to be our first number. Well, the biggest number, so our fifth. What's the second one? 8 will be the second largest out of the tenths. So that would be the sixth figure. Sorry, the fourth figure. because we are doing an ascending. Okay, next will be 3. So therefore that will be our third one. Okay, so since the rest are 0, it's a tie. We're going to look into the hundreds. Look into the hundreds, which 7 in the hundreds is the biggest. And then the first one will be 6, 0.067.